I have prepared 2 kilograms of washed peppers and I will line them up on an oven tray lined with baking paper. I put the peppers in a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius to bake them for 20 minutes. I put the peppers closer to the upper heaters. After 20 minutes, this is what the peppers look like. I'll turn them over. I put them back in the oven to bake for another 5 minutes. The peppers are roasted and now I'm going to transfer them to a bowl. I will cover the peppers and let them cool. After 30 minutes, the peppers have cooled down and burnt so that we can peel them more easily. Remove the stem and seeds. Write me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. I leave the pepper on the plate and that way I will peel all the peppers. Now I'm going to chop the peppers. After the peppers, I will mince 1 head of garlic. After the garlic, I will also chop a bunch of fresh parsley. I have prepared all the ingredients and I will pour 100 milliliters of olive oil into the pot. I add 100 milliliters of 9% vinegar. I add a spoonful of salt and wait for it to boil. When the mixture boils, I add garlic. I add the pepper and I will mix it slowly so that the pepper does not tear. I add parsley. I will stir and cook like this for 10 minutes. I pour this hot pepper into sterilized jars. And so we fill the second jar. I'll wipe the top of the jar. I sterilize the jars in the oven for 10 minutes at 100 degrees Celsius. I will close with clean and new lids that I have sterilized in boiling water for 10 minutes. Leave the jars to cool gradually. Cover them with a blanket. Store in a dark place until use. If you like the recipe, leave me a heart in the comment. Thanks, friends. I will show you how to preserve fresh tomatoes for a long period of time. First, I'll wash the tomatoes. I will clean the tomato from the center and cut it into slices. Write to me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. I chop tomatoes. I will cut 1 onion. I will chop 4 cloves of garlic. I will chop the parsley. I need clean and wash jars. I put 1 bay leaf in each jar. I'll add a few grains of pepper. I add garlic. I add onions. I add parsley. I'll add tomatoes. Now I add the onion. Parsley. I add tomatoes again. I add onions. And at the end I add passion. I add half a teaspoon of salt to each jar. I add 1 spoonful of 9% vinegar to each jar. Botulism does not develop in an acidic environment. I pour water into the jars. I'll wipe the top of the jar. I will close the jars with clean lids. I need a deeper pan. I put a cloth at the bottom of the pan. And I arrange the jars inside. I pour water into the pot up to the height of the lid. I put the pan on the stove. I will cover it, and from the moment the water boils, I will pasteurize it for 35 minutes. We perform pasteurization at a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. After 35 minutes, I remove the pan from the stove. When the jars have cooled, the center part of the lid must sink. Store the jars in a dark place until use. If you like the recipe, leave me a heart in the comment and a like. Thank you, friends. I'm going to show you how to preserve a vegetable salad for the winter. I wash the vegetables and now I will chop them. First, I'll cut the tomatoes. I transfer the sliced tomatoes to a larger bowl. Write to me in the comments from which country are you watching me? It's nice to know that we are watching each other all over the world. Now I will cut the cucumber and pepper. I will chop the onion and garlic. And finally, I will cut the parsley. I will add 1 tablespoon of salt. 50 milliliters of olive oil. I will stir. I will leave the salad prepared in this way for an hour to let the vegetables release their juices. After an hour of standing, the vegetables release their juice. I need clean and wash jars. I will fill the jar with prepared vegetables. And so I will fill all the jars. I also pour the remaining juice into the jars. I add a teaspoon of sugar to each jar. I add a spoonful of 9% vinegar. Botulism does not develop in an acidic environment. I'll wipe the top of the jar. I do not add water to the jars because the vegetables will release their juice. I close the jars with clean lids. I need a deeper pot. I put a cloth on the bottom of the pan and arrange the jars in the pan. I pour water up to the height of the lid. I put the pan on the stove. I will cover it, and from the moment the water boils, I will pasteurize it for 35 minutes. We pasteurize at a temperature of 80 degrees Celsius. After 35 minutes, the pasteurization is complete and I remove the pan from the stove. Leave the jars in the water to cool gradually. After that, keep them in a dark and cool place until use. When the jars have cooled, the center part of the lid must sink. If you like the video, leave me a heart in the comment. Thanks, friends.